Hey, what's up? This is JC with Life Music Love Radio. We're here with Buddy from Senses Failed. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh, no worries, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and letting us come in your extravagant bus.
This is not very extravagant.
It's very nice, actually.
It's
digging it.
It was cheap.
It was cheap?
Yeah, we got a good deal.
That's cool. So I want to get right into it. So you're on tour right now. This is the Saint and Sinners tour, and you're just about wrapping up this tour. And then you said you're going to go off to Canada and the UK?
Yep, and the rest of Europe.
And then right into Warped Tour, right? That's cool. And right now you guys are on tour with one of the bands, Brokencyde. And there's a little bit of controversy happening right now on the web about you and Brokencyde. Tell a little bit about that for those
I don't think it's controversy. I think it's just that I don't respect their music because it has no substance and it's cheap and fake and it's everything that's wrong with pop culture and what I think the music scene, if I don't even want to include them in the music scene that I grew up in because they're not, they're a completely separate entity, but somehow they are involved in this. I don't know how it happened, but it's unfortunate and I just don't like it. I mean, they're not great guys, they're not bad guys, they're just kind of there. I have no problem with them, but it's like when you use the N-word in a song and you're not black and you're a bunch of Spanish and, white dudes, like, I don't think that's cool. Like, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, but I don't promote being an idiot on stage. I don't take the time that I have. I'll say stupid stuff on stage all the time, but it's a joke. Like, to me, it's just me being an asshole, because that's kind of my thing. Just like Fat Mike says dumb shit on stage, but there's stuff that Fat Mike cares about in life and has a goal and work towards, like the whole punk voter thing and all that stuff that he did and that he's done for, the punk rock community and everything. It's like there's not a fine line between like what the jokes and dumb shit that I tell on stage and Fat Mike does and the stuff that Brokencyde and these bands do, because it's not a joke to them. Like, they take it seriously. If they were joking, I would actually be able to like handle it a little bit more, but it's serious. They fully actively care about what they're doing, and what they're doing is like detrimental. Like, when you see little 12-year-old girls at the show and they're asking me to sign their tits and they're wearing Brokencyde shirts, like, that's disgusting. Like, I yell at them. I'm like, this is...
I can get your point on that,
This
dude.
is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Like, this is what kids come to shows and see. Like, I used to go to shows and see Earth Crisis and see, NoFX and Bad Religion and the Get Up Kids and so many different bands. So many different bands that had... Maybe they didn't have a message, but they still all cared about what the idea of punk rock is and where it came from, and not necessarily that we're a punk rock band, but we started in a basement. We started playing VFW shows. That's where we started from. We started from a local scene, do it yourself. All we wanted to do was play shows in our local scene, and it eventually morphed into this other thing, and we happened to be around for when the internet took over and when this kind of music got popular.
No, I get it, man. I totally do. I get your point, and that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, because I think a lot of it was lost, because we talked to a couple of the other bands that we talked to Brief Carolina about this as well, and I think there's some mutual respect on your side and on their side, and I'm sure on Brokencyde's side we're going to get an opportunity to talk to them about how you guys got to where you guys are, and I think everybody that's clumped into this sort of just wants that connection with the fans. But I agree with you on that point where...
but these bands don't care about that connection with the fans. These bands don't care about why they're doing this. They're not doing it because they have to. These kids nowadays, they show up in bands. They were the fucking popular kids in high school. That's not what it was supposed to be about. I didn't get into punk rock because I felt like everybody else. I got into it because I was fucking pissed off because I hated everybody else, and I didn't want to be around them. And I wanted to go do my own thing and find my own sense of community with a bunch of people who cared about things that were important to me and that I could learn something from and feel normal around them. Not this garbage that's just senseless, that just doesn't have any message or anything behind it. Not even a little bit. It's just... we're here, we got here. I don't even know how we got here. Like, you look at some of these bands and you see them on tour, and they look like they have no idea what they're doing there or even why they're there. Like, when we started, we were young and stupid, and now we've been doing it for 7 or 8 years. So you really wise up at points, and really, when you have struggles and have up and downs in bands, you really realize why you're doing this.
Yeah.
For bands like that, I don't know if they care about it enough. I'm sure at first, for most of these bands, I'm sure at first time something goes wrong, they're just going to break up because they don't really give a shit. They want to make music for reasons that aren't the same reasons that I make them or bands that I respect make.
So that being said, do you think they're doing it for the wrong reasons then? Do you think just because they're not making music because of the reasons you're making music, does that make it wrong?
I think that any style of music that comes from the heart and has a message and isn't fueled by image or you know, kind of just basic nonsense is... I listen to country music, I listen to hip-hop, I listen to everything. Like, you know, Common has a fucking message. Mos Def has a message. Those guys are legitimate artists. Like, you know, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. You know, you listen to that stuff and it's different than what Brokencyde and Breathe Carolina and Millionaires and that shit is. It's like that. I've never talked shit openly about stuff because I just don't usually care enough. Because it's like, yeah, there's bands that I don't like that I don't think, you know, do it for the right reasons or whatever and this and that, but it's not a big deal. But this is disgusting. Like, it's trash. And it's even more disgusting when you see all these kids that come to the show and they're so impressionable and they're selling shirts that say, like, skeet, skeet, and they have, like, cum shots all over them, and little girls are buying them just because it says skeet, skeet. They don't like Brokencyde. They don't even know what the fuck Brokencyde is, but it's like this image-driven, oh, that's cool. You know, it's this whole weird thing that happened within, like, the last year and a half, 2 years, and it's getting kind of popular. It's like 303 and stuff like that. It's just like, really? Is that what needs to happen? Is that, you know, why? How is that? I understand why it's popular, because it's really easy to listen to. You don't have to think too much. There's nothing to grab a hold of lyrically at all. So it's just kind of like background fun music. But I don't want, you know, top 40 Z100 bands, that's our station, you know, the top station in New York, to be touring with, like, we had no say with Brokencyde be on this tour. I didn't even know they were going to be on the tour until it's probably like 2 months away from the tour. So it's like, we're not gonna pull off a tour and shoot ourselves in the foot because of another band. But I also was like, I'm not going to go on tour and have people think that I just accept this for what it is. You know, it's the same thing with the Hollywood Undead dudes. Those guys are awesome guys. They're great guys. I don't back what they do, but you know what? They came out, and I think they know that maybe people will judge us for whatever. So let's just be normal guys. Let's be nice guys. Let's just, you know... And they're fucking great. I don't give a shit what kind of music they play. I don't give a shit what kind of, like, it's also different. It's a little different than Brokencyde. Like, it's more, to me, like Linkin Park or something like that. And they are a mainstream band. And the whole point of why we did this tour is to play in front of new kids, to be like, we've toured, you know, for 7 years with the same kind of bands and the same music scene. This is like the first time we've actually been able to play with a band where there's kids that have never heard of us before. And that's why we did it. I know people that asked, and people have asked, like, well, why the hell would they accept to do that? It's like, well, if you ran a business, wouldn't, you know...
The point is to get in front of as many fans.
The point is to get in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah,
because I
agree.
think that the music we make is good, and I think that we put on a good show, and I think that the message in the songs people can relate to, and I think that's why a lot of people like our band, and that's why we're doing it. I mean, you know.
I think what you're just trying to say is you look for the bands or the artists or the musicians that have a genuine investment in what they're doing. You're not looking for somebody that's just in it to go out there and sell colorful T-shirts and, you know, if that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, let's write songs about getting drunk. I've never seen those motherfuckers drink ever.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll play devil's advocate here. You're writing songs about getting drunk. Do you think that's a good message to send out to kids?
Dude, for me, you're saying our songs?
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting there saying that writing a song about getting drunk is okay, but at the same time you have a problem with a girl wearing a shirt that says ski.
I think all our songs that I've written are dealing with alcoholism and dealing with the way that I've dealt with issues in my life and relating it to that in an almost cathartic but also self-damning almost. Like I'm writing it from a different perspective.
As a way to spotlight what you've gone through.
Yeah, I'm not saying go do this, go do that. I never write. I always write from I did this, I did that, I wish I did this. You know, or that sort of thing. Instead
sure,
of,
sure. It's a lesson in life type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Brokencyde doesn't write their own beats.
Yeah.
They honestly admit that they just buy them from people. Like,
oh, okay. So I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know anything about Brokencyde. I don't know anything about Breathe Carolina, other than what
Carolina, and I have been to Breathe Carolina
or 303. I mean, I'm like you. I listen to what I like to listen to, and that's about it.